Soon you may be seeing heaven.
Choose the car, and you will join me. Choose the ball, and you join your mother and death. You don't understand my words, but come boy. Choose life or death. I'm back with more Hot Wheels. I was originally planning on my second upload to be something that wasn't directly related to Hot Wheels, but filming in public makes me a little nervous.
Get away from me!
And because of that, it's taking me a little longer than expected to complete the video in a way I'm happy with. Well, a few days ago I was perusing my local grocery store, and I stumbled across basically Sex on a Shelf. That's right, a complete Hot Wheels set, and not just a casual mainline. I'm talking a grade A, raw, creamy car culture series. The car culture series is like the luxury version of Hot Wheels. It's like the Acura to Honda, the Infiniti to Nissan. It's like the real Yoda to the toy Yoda. And each year in the car culture series, they release a handful of sub-series, like the Jay Leno Garage, the Exotic Envy, and the Team Transports. The series I was lucky enough to stumble across was the Ronin Run series. The name Ronin comes from ancient Japan when samurais would roam the land offering their swords for hire. A roaming warrior. That's what we're gonna look at today. What do these guys have to offer? The service of driving past my house at 2 a.m. making goofy noises? Well, first up is the 95 Mazda RX7. I feel like I just talked about this car. Okay, well this one is clearly different. Besides being navy blue and 6 times as expensive, it's a part of the car culture series. It's a series for adults. I mean, just look at the amount of detail on the card alone compared to the regular mainline. Anything included in the car culture series features a full metal base and real rider rubber wheels. I'll tell you what, I'm excited as frick for this and I got high hopes for the hand feel. So yeah, I've talked about this car already in my first video. It's a rotary engine sports car manufactured by Mazda between 78 and 02. Came to Hot Wheels in 2017 and designed by Jun Amai with 19 different recastings in total, with this being my third in the collection. Alrighty, enough talking, let's get into it. Has a good rattle to it, I'll tell you that. Alrighty, wow, holy cow, it's heavy. It is a heavy car. That's impressive. It feels tremendous in the hands. Wow, I feel like I can push it faster too because of that. Damn. Check it out. It looks good. I'll be 100% honest with you. The hand feel on that, incredible. It blew my expectations out of the water. Compared to this, same car. That's crazy. It's easily double the weight. And then the rubber wheels. I was expecting the rubber wheels to kind of be like those Lego rubber wheels. You can kind of like rip them off. Doesn't really feel like I can do that. What did that license plate say? It says twinning. I think that's must be a nod to the twin turbos. And then one thing I'm noticing, the American license plate, and these are supposed to be Japanese cars. But I mean, wow. And then let me look at the detail more. I was blown away by just the hand feel alone. Headlights, I love it. Yeah, a lot of detail, and like they're clean too. It's not smudged at all. Oh, and then the inside too. We gotta check that out. Jeez Louise, man. Jeez, the amount of detail on this, definitely worth the money in my opinion. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this one 9 out of 10. The reason I give it a 9, the detail on it is pretty perfect. I haven't seen any imperfections on it yet, and the weight on it is really, really nice. It has a very nice hand feel. The reason I don't give it a 10 is the navy blue is kind of lacking. You know, I feel like if it had the Falcon color scheme going with it, along with the weight and the detail, I would give it an easy 10 out of 10. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this at all. So yeah, very nice car, and I think it's a good one to start the episode off with. Next is the Nissan 300ZX Twin Turbo. Hitting the JDM scene from 1983 to 2000, the 300ZX was sold under the name Fair Lady Z, and having an even shorter time in the States from 1984 to 1996. The 300ZX got the name by following the numerical pattern initiated with the original Z car, known in the America as a Nissan 240Z. The addition of the X comes from its predecessor, the 280ZX, to signal the signs of luxury and comfort-oriented features. The first generation, known as the Z31, was manufactured between 1983 to 1989, and was a huge success at the time for becoming the highest volume Z car sold for Nissan. In hopes of continuing the hype for the first generation, Nissan produced the second generation Z32. Of course, it was faster and featured more advanced technology, but it came with a higher price. With more money needed to drive one, less people bought them in the States, causing Nissan to discontinue sales for the Z car in 1996. Debuting in the Hot Wheels series in 2019 and designed by Dmitry Shakhmatov, the 300ZX first appeared in the main line in an angelic pearl white. 9 recastings later, and mine's in a metal flake oxblood. The casting is based off of the Z32, and a fun fact, according to the Hot Wheels wiki, when Dmitry Shakhmatov was in his young prime, he would head to his local Nissan dealership and joyride the 300ZXs. So yeah, let's rip her open. Whoa, little bag plastic on that one. Either way, the Nissan 300ZX out of the box feels pretty good. Honestly, it could just be in my head, but it doesn't feel as heavy as the Mazda RX7. Yeah, just in my head. But I really like that red. Very shiny. Hand feel still, I don't know, something about it. Something about this one just doesn't feel as good as the RX-7. I don't know. I'm not really an RX-7 fan. Yeah, this one honestly just feels a little lighter, I guess. I don't know. The detail on it, though, definitely have good detail. 300ZX license plate, twin turbo. The rear end on that looks really nice, actually. Big fan of that. Rims, kind of lacking a little bit, especially compared to the other ones. I don't know. They're still the real riders, so I can't complain there. You got Nissan on the front, got your headlights, you got your little logo. Yeah, you know, it still has good hand feel. There's nothing really wrong with it. I think we're gonna have to rate this one 8 out of 10. The reason I go 8 is because the rims I feel like are a little lacking. I feel like they could have come up with a better design. I don't really mind the black. I just wish it wouldn't look as cheap, maybe. But other than that, detail on it is good. Hand feel is alright. 8 out of 10. Happy with it. Up next, the decadent 1981 Toyota Starlet KP61. The Toyota Starlet was manufactured from 1973 to 1999. This subcompact car was brought to life to replace the Toyota Publica, with the first generation actually being called the Publica Starlet in some markets. The Starlet was the first compact car to offer performance packages, such as the Turbo S, the GT Turbo, and the Galanza. The KP61 was a part of the Starlet's second generation, and was the most powerful engine you can get stock in the car, with a 1290cc engine. The Starlet KP61 had a brief run being exported in the States between 1981 to 1984, and in Japan in 1999, the Starlet was replaced by the Vitz and sold as the Yaris and the Eco everywhere else. Joining the Hot Wheels Club somewhat recently in 2021, designed by Mark Jones and debuting in the Car Culture series in the series called Toyota Series, with there being only 2 castings. Both featured the detailed head and tail lights and the classic Toyota Starlet badge. This casting though has something a little bit more special to it. This one will say work wheels on the doors as a nod to the Ronin reference, and equip on the rear fender as in equip these nuts. Fun fact, in the early 90s, Toyota released a car model called the Sierra, which was very similar to the Starlet, but only offered in Japan, which featured butterfly doors. Alrighty, no more dilly-dallying, let's break her open. Alrighty. Out of the box. This one is definitely lighter. They're getting lighter. This one is definitely lighter than the RX-7 and definitely lighter than the 300ZX. You know, I guess when you think about it, it kind of makes sense with it being a smaller car and everything. But still, man, that first one was so heavy. It felt good. Alright, looking at the detail, I don't know if I got that on camera, but I definitely wiped off some I don't know, dust or like machining residue or something. I probably wouldn't put this in your mouth. I mean, other than that, this one actually looked really cool. I really like the wheels kind of are like protruding out of the body. Oh, and then here we go. Perfect. We finally have an actual JDM license plate. Get a good look at the work wheels. And also equipped as honestly, yeah, you get a little bit of both right there. The rims look good too. I really like the look of this one, honestly. The purple and the gold go together really well. And I actually like how small it is. Has a good roll around. Feels very quick. Okay, so for the rating on this one, I'm going to go ahead and give it another 9. The reason I'm not giving it a 10 is because it's just not as heavy as the RX-7. And I don't care that it's a smaller car, man. I don't know. I wish you guys could feel how heavy this one is. Honestly, it feels... Yeah, the RX-7 just feels good every time I touch it. I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad car, because it isn't at all. I mean, look at how cool that front of that looks. Right? Am I right? Yeah, this one's definitely getting a 9, and it's a happy 9. Up next, 4th in the series, the 98 Subaru Impreza 22B STI version. That sounds like something you'd catch your first year of college. What if I told you the name got even longer? The WRX. The name at first glance is a lot, but reading into it and understanding the history behind it makes it pretty impressive. Announced in October and released in November in Japan of 1992, the Impreza was intended to be called the Loyale. With the Impreza came the debut of the sports package, the WRX, which stands for World Rally Experimental, which took use of the technology used by Subaru in their rally cars, such as the turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, the all-wheel drive, and stiffened suspension. And in 1994 came the induction of the STI version, yeesh, meaning Subaru Technica International. With mostly mechanical modifications, the STI package included upgraded transmission, suspension, and a high-performance tuned engine. It's not really important, but in 1995 came the induction of the 2-door coupe with the name Impreza Retina. And then in 1998, what makes this car so special, Subaru celebrated their 40th anniversary along with winning a manufacturer's title in the World Rally Championship. And to celebrate, Subaru made a very limited wide-body Impreza STI. With only 400 made in Japan and about 420 in total, it sold out within the first 2 days. Fun fact, neither the WRX or the STI were available in the US until 2002. Flipping over to the Hot Wheels side of things, the 22B STI first debuted in 2020 in the Hot Wheels Turbo Series in the classic metal flake blue. The blue body with the gold rims look amazing. Along with a total of 10 recastings, the one I have is the 8th, along with the second casting to be a part of the Car Culture series. All castings feature detailed head and tail lights, but what makes mine special, mine has a textured carbon fiber hood. Wow. Let's get into it. Okay. Out of the box, this one has that RX7 feel that I like. It feels good. And looks even better too, man. I'm a huge fan of this orange. The textured hood is not textured. The paint scheme makes it look like it does. But it is glossy. I'm not mad. Just a little disappointed. But I mean, other than that, I mean, this is a damn good car. The detail on it looks pristine. Whoa. I just realized there's no license plate on it. What's up with their consistency? You either got the American plate, you get the Japanese plate, or you have no plate. You can see that the driver's sitting on the right side of the car. Yeah, this one is cool. I wish the rubber wheels had a little bit more meat on them, honestly. But, I mean, it's not a bad thing. Yeah, I mean, what complaint could you possibly have about this thing? It looks cool. It feels cool. I feel like if the Nissan had rims similar to this, it would make it a lot better. This one definitely beats that Nissan in terms of looks, that's for sure. I can't really make out what that sticker says on the back. I know it's definitely not a license plate, that's for sure. Check out the wing on there. Looks good. I'm gonna flip over to the other side, get the hood scoop. Alright, so rating this car out of 10. Everything involved, you got to think about the color scheme, the lack of the textured hood, and then also the lack of a license plate. But you know, I am a huge fan of orange, the color, so I'm gonna go ahead and rate this one 8. Yeah, I mean, it's teeter-tottering between 8 and 9, man. Yeah, I want to give it 9, but I gotta take my ranking seriously. Up next, last on the menu, the Mazda RX7 FC Pandem? Again? Okay, this one really is different this time. The RX7 FC is the second of the 3 current generations and is known as the Mazda Savannah RX7 in Japan. The chief project engineer, Akio Uchiyama, focused on the American market when designing the RX7 FC by taking inspiration from popular sports cars at the time, such as the Porsche 928. Along with this being the older brother to the previous RX7, this one is the first in my collection to feature a real-life body kit. Pandem, also known as Rocket Bunny, is just one of the names used for TRA Kyoto, run by Kimura on the outskirts of Kyoto, Japan. TRA Kyoto specializes in making really cool body kits for the JDM scene. The more I looked into Pandem, the more impressed I got, honestly. Miura's a cigarette-chugging, stuff-loving computer nut. It's just a dude in a garage that's just real good with computers, and he just makes some crazy stuff. I'll link a pretty interesting article by speedhunters.com where they went to Pandem Workshop. It's like a little photo diary. I definitely recommend checking it out. And then over on the Hot Wheels side of things, the Mazda RX-7 FC Pandem debuted in 2022 in this exact series, baby. Ronin Run. Showing off in a lovely white, this car has another recasting though in the same series, and it's in black. The kicker is, that sucker is rare, and it costs about $80 alone on eBay. I consider myself kinda lucky, but not lucky enough to find that casting on the shelf. And I don't have it in me to pay $80 for that one when I got the other 5 for $50 on the shelf. And honestly, I feel like this white one looks a little better compared to the black one. I feel like it shows off the edges a little bit more, but I guess we'll see once I open it up. And besides, it's more fun to find it on the shelf. You know, walking into a store and you don't really know if it's going to be there or not. Saying that doesn't really sound fun, but I promise it is. I don't know, what do you guys think? Alrighty, let's get into it. Popping our Mazda RX-7 FC Pandem Cherry, this car feels good, and honestly looks even better. I honestly want to say this one's a little bit heavier than the RX-7. And I stand by that. With the roll cage in the back, you can see that the rear wheels are protruding out a little farther than the front ones. Looks really good. But yeah, all these edges, that little hood scoop in the front. Dude, this is a good car. And I feel like I was right. The white definitely shows off all these edges, especially on the hood right there. Detail on the headlights look really good. Especially all the little stickers on the side too. Wow, love to see all those. Toyo tires, you got the Pandem logo on the front and the rear of the car. It's cool. I can't really make out the little logo on the side above the Toyo tires, but it looks good. Rims, I would have to say, might be my favorite out of the collection. Because, you know, you got the silver outline with the little bronze innards. Yeah, strong car right here. This one's definitely taking the cake out of all of these. Don't really have a license plate, I just realized. I wouldn't mind seeing the black one, but yeah, not for $80. This one does just fine. Check out her undercarriage. Kind of lacking in the license plate, which is very unfortunate. With some careful consideration, considering everything involved, the color, the rims, the detail, I'm gonna have to rate this one a 9.5. My initial instinct was to give this a 10. The only reason I can't do it is lacking the license plate. I know what you guys are saying. It's my car. I can put a license plate on it if I want one. But for $6, man, compared to the normal $120 something for your mainline Hot Wheel, I was expecting a license plate. I don't know. But yeah, 9.5 isn't anything to really get hung up on, because it's definitely a beautiful car. Now, out of the Ronin Run series, if I were to pick a favorite, I'm going to have to pick the Mazda RX-7 FC Pandem. This thing looks very cool. And just the fact that it features a body kit that didn't come with the car is pretty impressive in my opinion. And I think it makes it pretty unique. Alright, thanks a bunch for watching. It really means a lot. And thank you even more for 1,000 subscribers. I don't even know 1,000 people.